Come on, let them say ya. Come on, let them say ya. That in my business, you catching fever. Getting serious like empty river. Ain't no stopping by the river. And as we coming, we sweeping, we cutting, we moving all the way. Yeah. We coming, yeah. As we coming, we sweeping, we coming. And then when we meet obstacles, yeah, you're just coming, yeah. We coming. When the year is clean, checking you again, cause it's Koa.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, once again, we say welcome to another edition of the program, The Bottom Line. And this is a special edition of Bottom Line. As you know, we normally come on Tuesdays and Fridays, but this is a special edition. And by popular request from our listeners or viewers, we have decided to do this edition of the program on this Saturday, beautiful Saturday evening, the second day of April 2022. And I have with me my usual co-host, Paul Chulupe, and Paul is going to tell you a little more about the program tonight, and he's going to also tell us what we expect. Whom are some of the guests that we expect. Like I told you, this is a very special edition. And so we have a host of guests that will be appearing tonight. Paul, will you care to tell us, first of all, how you're doing this evening on a beautiful weekend, Saturday, and then what do the viewers expect?
Good evening, Lifa. It's good to be back, and I would say happy Saturday to you and our listening audience. We have a team of Liberians. Got two presidents from the United States, and one of our guests from Liberia will be appearing on the show to discuss issue regards to some of the training issue in the country, like for example, the situation with Mr. Come's trial that seems not to go anywhere from one thing to another thing. We'll be dive into that. And also we'll talk about the 300,000 that will be put into the national budget for ULOC in America. And so there are other issues that we dive into. Yeah, the guys will be on soon. So we'll have a very good discussion tonight.
Okay. And so viewers, for those of you joining us right now, you can follow us both on our Facebook page and our Facebook group page as well. It's called The Bottom Line. If you type in the word Bottom Line, it's going to appear two times there. Bottom Line, Bottom Line. That's the Facebook page. And then our group is The Bottom Line Liberia. So if you follow us there, you're going to watch the program from anywhere. And then you can also follow us on YouTube. And we have the same handle, The Bottom Line, on YouTube. And so you can catch us anywhere. Better still, you can call us. It's going to be live interactions as soon as our guests appear. We'll be going on, and then we on already, but we'll be going through the discussions. That's what I mean. And we'll place the telephone number that you can reach us on. If you don't have the time to call, the best thing you can do is you follow us on Facebook. We are broadcasting simultaneously on Facebook page and our Facebook group, as well as on our YouTube. And so we all over the place, so to speak, so you can catch us anywhere on the internet. Paul, today is Saturday. Normally we don't do the program on Saturday. Are we interrupting your schedule today, or is there? I mean, it's a normal that you can come here on a Saturday evening and spend some time discussing Liberia?
Well, yes, it is. It's not disturbing my weekend schedule, to be honest, and also if this would be the first of its kind for bottom line, and we'll see how it turn out, and then we may consider Saturday moving forward to
Mhm.
it will become like more like ANC Saturdays to promote ANC more and more.
So it's going to be like the Saturday edition of the bottom line program is going to be like dedicated to ANC and ANC activities,
Yeah,
and okay.
and remember too that uh, Europe has been paired with Florida to actually they have the county initiative program that Europe and Florida will be kind of looking at Bond County, see how they can mobilize in Bond County for the coming 2023. So,
Let me get something straight. Are you saying that the European chapter of the ANC Global is going to be working with the Florida chapter in the US?
yes, that is to mobilize people in Bond County for ANC. So, we'll have somebody from Bond County to net on this program. We gave a little bit feedback, see how things are, what sort of news on the ground. So, yeah.
And how do you in Europe, and I understand you are the regional coordinator or the regional chairman for the whole region of Europe, uh, of the ANC Global, and then you'll be working with another regional group from the US. How do you work together, being so far apart?
Well, we live in the technology age now,
Mhm.
so it's easy to have a Zoom meeting to coordinate things and put resources together. So that's the meetings have been happening, even connecting people in Liberia. So it's easy that way to have the connection. Remember back in the days where to even make telephone call to the United States, you have to think twice. But now all of these facility that is there, we trying to make maximum use of it. So tonight you can be in a village in Likator, and I could be here in the UK and talk to you live on Facebook or on Zoom. So
Wow.
yeah.
And so specifically, if Euro will have to work along with the group, the European chapter of the ANC will have to work with the chapter in Florida, and then you will be working in Africa. What are some of the challenges you think there could be? Living in Europe and the other group in America, and then you working in Africa.
I would say there are any challenges in there as long the only challenge would be the time difference. So it probably 5 6 hour time difference. That would be the only thing. So that means we'll have to compromise at some point. If if we have a meeting, that means we're 5 6 hour ahead. We have to adjust our time to meet up with the guys in the US. And
Wow,
remember, we're also online with we we're on the GMT with Liberia, so it's easy with Liberia. But the guys in the US, we 5 6 hour ahead of them.
great. And I don't know. I don't know because you said the your partner, so to speak, that you will be working with as a European chapter, you'll be working with in the US as the chap of the
Yeah,
as
yeah,
the
yeah.
as the Florida chapter.
Your voice went low, Linfa.
Is my voice low still?
No, it's okay now.
Okay, yeah, but what I was saying is that you said that your colleague or partner that you'll be working with is the Florida chapter of the ANC Global, right? And then and you you said you don't see any obstacle being so far apart. But what specifically will you be tackling in Bond County for the ANC?
Well, the thing is, we there a lot of meetings have been held, so I don't think it would be appropriate now to disclose some of the things that we tend to do.
Mm-hmm.
But the next forum, I think we'll have Melvin. He's here. He will give all the guidelines the next forum what we're gonna do, what we tend to do, and how we go about doing it, how we implement all that. So yes, and 2023, from now to 2023 will be an exciting time in Bone County. I can guarantee you that. So there'll be a
Okay.
lot of movement. Yeah.
Okay, I think one of our guests is on. Melvin is on. And Melvin, I see you are muted and your video is also off. I just allowed you in. So I think all you need to do is click on your video icon on your screen, right below the screen there, below at the bottom there, and then your microphone as well, and so you'll be unmuted, and then you'll be visible to us on the platform. But let's again say to our viewers that normally we do not come on Saturday, but like Paul said, we considering we doing we this is a litmus test. We testing the waters to see if things will be okay, and when things become okay, then of course we might just continue to have a Saturday edition of the bottom line program right here. And like we said, we're gonna have a host of gentlemen here, both from
Hello,
the
guys.
US and hi. Who is this? Is it
Hello, hello,
Franklin?
hello, guys. Hello, guys. Hello, guys.
Uh, okay, yeah, Franklin, you are loud
It's
and
it's
clear.
it's,
Do you
This
it's
is
hear
this
us?
Melvin. It's
this is
Melvin.
Melvin.
This
Yeah,
Melvin?
this is Melvin speaking.
Okay, Melvin, you okay. All you need to do, you are clear. All you need to do is you need to uh put your video camera on your just click on your camera because your microphone is functional.
I'm trying to set up my lighting system to get a better image. So that's why it's not
Okay.
on yet. As soon as
Okay,
yeah,
okay.
but it's excited to join you guys. I'm honored to be here, and
Yeah,
I
okay.
I'm pleased
Okay,
by this platform.
okay,
So
just do what you
as soon as I set up my light, I will just turn my camera on. Okay.
okay,
Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
okay. Um but Paul, like we were saying, we doing our first Saturday broadcast to see if it will hold water, if it suits your schedule, my schedule, and remember that we have three or three other co-panelists that are not here today on the program. We got Antrick, we got Jamel, and then we got Steve Carley. They are not here, but normally they are on the Friday and Tuesday edition. So if the Saturday edition will be feasible, possible, uh, schedule friendly, we can promise you that they will also be on. And time will come, you wouldn't see me, you wouldn't see Paul, but you'll see the rest of the other guys, carrying on the show. So it's like we're here to stay. And as soon as our guests get ready, we'll be starting, and we'll be having Franklin uh, Duarto from Florida. He's going to be joining us, and already we have Melvin trying to set up his equipment, and then we'll
And
be
Mr. Victor Roberts will be joining us as well.
oh okay. So great, it's going to be a great show. But let's take let's listen to some of the things that Mr. Alexander be coming. But Paul, let's talk about Mr. Cummings a little bit just before the guys come in. Mr. Cummings is has become the talk of the town, so to speak, Mr. Cummings. In 2017, I didn't hear this much about Mr. Alexander P. Cummings, probably because I didn't pay attention to him. But nowadays, you look in the newspaper almost every day on a daily basis. Mr. Cummings is in the news, and if he's not in the, on the internet, He's in the newspaper in Liberia. He's on the radio. People, something about him on the radio and the ANC. What has changed so much? Because I mean, it wasn't like this in 2017.
But Linford, I'm not a religious person, but sometimes I tend to follow. You see, like when you go into B, they always like obstacles, right? And those obstacles that come your way, it can be for the negative reason, but then that negative reason can turn to a positive reason. So 2017, this man, people said, oh, Johnny just come. He's new, we don't know him. 5 years down the line, what happened? Everybody got to know him. He's not popular. He does not have number. But then this is the man that the government of Liberia fear most. They took in the court. The opposition collaboration that he joined fear him most because they thought there was a coronation for them. They see this guy as somebody, no, he's not a person to ride with. So what can we do? We go for him from all aspects, and that's what makes him more popular.
But so are you speaking in tongue? Are you saying that the forces that are going against Mr. Comey are rather doing it to promote him unknown to themselves? I don't understand.
No, because they're doing it in a negative way, and that negative way the negative can turn positive. That's what's happening. You see, so he's unknown. Yes, he's unknown. Like taking a quote. You talking a quote, he became more popular. Oh, the next thing is he tampered with framework document. The next thing, you got somebody with the loud mouth every day, every night, abusing him. Who is this person that they abusing? Now, you wonder, but let me find out about this guy. Why they keep abusing him? And
yeah, but do you think this Larmo guy that is attacking Mr. Cummings every day, do you think he's of any relevance? Because what I do know is that he does it to everybody. Okay, let me play your clip. Then from there we'll carry on the discussion.
Not going to change. Joe Barker has no fresh ideas. Joe Barker is not able to run this country. He's a dead man walking. He's a dead man walking, and I cannot support a dead man walking.
Okay.
Well, I would like to welcome my brother, my friend, Franklin, to this program. Welcome on Butterland. This is where we discuss the issue, we go deeper, analyze it, and we get to the point. Butterland is the place. Welcome, brother.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Chairman Paul, and my good big brother, Lanford. Thank you for having me.
You're welcome, Franklin. Well, it's good to have you also, and as we await the rest of the group, we understand Mr. Melvin. The name, the last name, actually, I don't know how to pronounce that. Last...
Gatti or
it's Gatti.
Oh,
okay. Melvin Gatti is trying to get on, and we understand there's another person coming from the US to join us, so it's going to be a full house tonight. But let me say welcome to you, Franklin, and how have you been doing?
Well, I'm doing good, Lanford. How yourself? How your family?
Well, by God's grace, we're doing good. We keep our heads above the flood, and we make sure that things do not go the way they want to go, but we make things to happen the way we want it to happen. But let me say welcome to you formally, and let's start the ball rolling, because time is always the enemy of people. Sure. I understand that you head the Florida chapter of the ANC Global. Is that true?
Yeah, it is, Lanford, and I am the chapter coordinator for the state of Florida. And guys, we are looking forward to a program coming up in July, starting July 1st to July 4th. We're going to be raising, if not $1 million in the state for the ANC to support the cause of ANC and to
Yeah,
support the people of Liberia.
Yeah, you're talking about we. Are you talking about Florida, solely Florida?
ANC Global as a whole.
Okay.
So we are expecting guests from the UK, guests from Norway and Germany. I mean, all across the globe.
Okay. And what do you intend to raise this money for?
Like for look, we have a campaign season coming up, and not so much of that. You know, most of the money we collect in the diaspora for the ANC goes to support campaign activities in the country, and also our people in Liberia.
And this makes me to want to ask one question that probably a lot of people have not asked. You know, those of us who sympathize with ANC or who are members of the ANC, the moment we talk, people say, "Oh, you're fooling Mr. Cummings, you're eating Mr. Cummings." So isn't Mr. Cummings dumping all the money on us? Why would we want to raise money for the ANC when Mr. Cummings is just supposedly dumping all the money on us, and we just bathing in his money and talking for Mr. Cummings?
Oh, you know, first of all, what people don't understand is this, Lanford. The ANC is a unique political party, and we are able-bodied people. We don't rely on Mr. Cummings' money that he worked for, right? He has his family to take care of. I can assure you that the ANC family in the diaspora, and also, let's say, even in Liberia, right? We are capable to raise our own money to run our campaign. Mr. Cummings is not giving up money. All right. Why the suit that the gentleman is rich? He has his family to take care of. So we are not, the party is not relying on Mr. Cummings for the support, right? Members out here raise money, and you know what we are capable of doing when it comes to raising money. So that we are not, it's not something for us to sit here and have a dialogue about, right? When it comes to raising money, the ANC Global as a whole raised significant money to support the party cause in Liberia. So the talking point that people are going around and saying, look, the food in Mr. Cummings and that, I will assure you, wait and see what comes 2023. All right? Mr. Cummings is the change, and this is the change that we are looking for, and this is the change that the Liberian people are looking for. If you underestimate Mr. Cummings, wait and see the silent voters at the pool comes 2023, and I will be there.
Okay. Let me welcome Mr. Victor Ramos. Mr. Ramos, do you hear me well?
He's muted.
Okay, Mr. Ramos, you are muted.
Yes, sir, I hear you. How you doing? How everybody's doing?
Yeah, I think we are great. And
we're good.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not muted now.
Yeah, you are okay. You are okay now, Mr. Ramos, except that your lighting is already a little bit poor, but we still see you.
I think he's driving, right?
Yeah,
you're driving.
I
see you. Yeah. Okay.
I'm driving, and there's a storm. There's a storm where I am.
Okay, and we hope it's not going to interrupt you. But we let us say welcome. And tonight we got a couple of things to discuss here, and to kick a ball rolling.
Yep.
Will you just want to throw a little more light on that fundraising program you're talking about in July? Because there is also another fundraising program that is going to be in July here for Mr. Cummings, and Mr. Cummings is coming here. Is Mr. Cummings going to be at your fundraising program in July?
Where that information will come out eventually. We hope so. But if I can tell you, when it comes to planning series of events surrounding the ANC and the ANC Global, we are capable of hosting series of programs, right? So the program coming out in July in Germany will not affect the program up here. We'll go there to support. So our program here in Florida is scheduled. We have the meet and greet scheduled for the 1st, and the address is posted out there. We are sharing those things out there. And then on the second week is Saturday. We have a community meetings with the Liberian community in the state of Florida. And then that evening we have a ball, the fundraising ball, where we're going to go out there and raise tens and thousands of dollars for the ANC. And then after that Sunday, we have sporting activities in the park where Liberians will come together and have interactions and get to see this true leader that we await.
Great.
Well, let me meet onto the fundraising event.
Mm.
Europe is also having something on the 8th and the 9th of July, and that will be hand over Germany. And
Yes.
we tend to raise 100,000 as well for for 2023 campaign. So I can say to you, Euro it kind of we are bossing now Germany as a whole. It will be like 3 days event. So on the Friday will be meet and greet. Saturday there'll be sporting activity and then a big fundraiser. Then on this Sunday, before people depart, there'll be a serious barbecue. So we're all looking forward to this. Yeah, and we
Yes,
hope
Paul. I look
right?
forward. I look forward to attending that program,
Okay.
Paul. And I hope you do the same for us, please.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And
All right.
therefore, we look forward to seeing you here. It won't be your first time coming to Florida, but you're gonna come, right?
No, I've been to Florida. I was in Florida in 2016.
Yeah.
2006, right? It's been like over 10 years, 15 years ago. But I'll be happy to be there. But one of us have his volume on high, so we're getting some feedback. But let's get straight into our real issues here. The first issue on the target that we'll be talking about tonight is this problem that seem to be rising again out of the case with Mr. Cummings, where you have the Solicitor General allegedly, okay, I'll use that word, allegedly, omitting or deleting some conversations. And this issue has been brought forward to the attention of the court by the lawyers representing Mr. Cummings and co-defendants. If this is true, gentlemen, I mean, I'll throw it around the table. If this is true that the lawyers, the Solicitor General, the state lawyers actually omitted this, does it look criminal? Does it have any criminal nature? Anybody can start.
All right. So Langford and Chairman Paul. Look, why are we even sitting here talking about a case, guys? If we have a serious country, this case should not even be in court.
No.
It should be dismissed. This case should be dismissed. All right? First of all, there was no evidence to go to court. In order for you to indict somebody, all right, the prosecution need to collect evidence. You collect your evidence and take that to a grand jury for revision. If they find it credible, that is, you have the evidence in your hand. If they find it credible, before you proceed to indict. How will you indict without evidence? That's right. And then you ask the defendant to provide or to produce evidence against himself. In what country? This is unacceptable. And you guys know the implications of those things, right? Those guys, there's a motive behind this thing. It's nothing but a political motive to slow Mr. Comey down. But you know what? Mr. Comey is unstoppable. You can't stop this man. All right? We are expecting change, and that change is coming soon. That case is going nowhere. This case is a disgrace to our country. The international panels are following. Our friends, our neighboring country are following and watching the case closely. You can't do that. Serena Safer should be dismissed. If we are in a credible country that is willing to move forward, he should not be there. This case should be thrown out. It is very embarrassing to our country, and this cannot continue. Guys, we have to be serious here. If Liberians want Liberia to move forward, we have to hold our people accountable. For too long, we have sat back and look at our people lead our country in whatever direction they want to. It's about time, and I can tell you, we will go through the ballot, comes 2023, and people, right after the election, people will have to answer questions to the Liberian people. We are tired. We have a good system that must work, and it should work for everybody. You can't run a country like that, guys. You can't do that. All right?
Mr.
So
Ramos.
the skills has to be thrown out.
Yeah.
I don't know if you heard
just-
me. Yeah.
I can hear you.
Yeah. But I was I was saying that if the thing that we're hearing, that the Solicitor General or the state prosecution, they actually omitted or deleted some important information from the CPP chat room that could be, or that could have helped or be important elements to exonerate Mr. Cummings from the onset of the case. If they did omit anything, do you see any criminal intent in it?
Well, right now, given this legal situation, we are operating in the atmosphere of public opinion, but we have to let the rule of law play out. So, if the Solicitor General, who is a legal person in the country, and the country's legal system is seeing this, I am more than sure that they can remedy this situation without public opinion. And so, given that evidence, witness, are tampered with in any society where transparency and legality and accountability are held up to the rule of law, issue of the FG and the evidence is an issue that can face some legal consequences. However, that said, we have to let this thing play out for two reasons. One, the defendants in the case, if the Constitution is right, are supposed to be guilty until proven, innocent until proven guilty.
Right.
And this is what is playing out here. The second thing is, once you are proven innocent of the charges, the system has helped you out on what you're trying to.
Mr. Rawa is having a bad connection there.
Mr. Rawa said there's a storm where he is, and he's also driving. So we're
trying to bring change to the country. Who's trying to bring a for that? Because I'm driving through a storm. So if it goes in and out, just bear with me, okay?
Yeah,
but I'm saying, for Alex, who's trying to bring a system of transparency and accountability, this only fosters and promotes his what he's trying to push through. We can't have the rule of law being bent, and the system doesn't take care of it. So whatever CFAS did, and it's not for me to say whether it was legal or not. It's for me to wait and see what the justice system does in Liberia, and not just like. Again, I'm still going in and out, but the eyes of the world are watching. So, in our public opinion, it looks bad, right? Let's hope the same opinion the legal system pushes forth when it comes to a conclusion of this situation.
Okay. Paul.
Well, the thing is, it's embarrassment to the whole country, to be honest with you. That's how I see it. Because if you took somebody to court, you don't carry somebody to court and say, "Oh, the person should produce evidence on themselves." So, what the purpose of you taking someone to court if you can't provide evidence on what they to court? So, the whole thing is just a broker case that is going on, and then now the government is is in it. That's why it's keep dragging. Because no normal country will have such a case going on at this time. There are a lot of bad things that have been happening in Liberia. The Solicitor General have no interest in it, but to prosecute somebody for no reason. I mean, it should be thrown out.
Yeah, we all say the case should be thrown out, and like Mr. Robert said, until the legal system can determine otherwise. But in the process, while the case is going on, everybody says the case should be thrown out, right? And that's from our public opinion, our code of public opinion. But in that process, the defense team has already discovered that there are some elements, vital elements that could have helped to exonerate, their customer or their client, and they are requesting the defense team, the lawyers are requesting investigation into the alleged omission of vital information. Do you think it's going to have any bearing on the case, if indeed it is found to be true?
But they admitted, the fact is that they admitted the judge should throw the case out from the start. But why the judge is still keeping this case? Because it's the government against Mr. Cummings. Simple as that. Because in normal country, the Solicitor General, but now he's not even sort of practice because he been indicted on how do you call it, money laundering, and the very judge is also on money laundering. So they are not credible people. That's how I'm saying. So they just need to throw the case out. And it's just waste of time, waste of taxpayer money. And that's what they're up to. They should just throw the case out. There's nothing in it. If you have evidence against somebody, it shouldn't be dragging up to now. It's been over 3 months now. You can't provide evidence. But Mr. Cummings going to court every day. He's fighting the laws. There's nothing in it. So why drag it? That means the person who talking to court never went to court. The Solicitor General said, oh, they may be sent to prison, go have all the evidence. Later on, he came out and said, no, he should provide the evidence on himself. So that means that waste of time. Throw the case out. Complete waste of time. Waste of the man energy, waste of taxpayer money. That's what they're up to.
Okay. I don't know if anyone else has anything to do to add. Let me bring back Franklin. I don't know if anybody else
thank you,
has
guys.
I don't know if anybody else has anything to add again. But let's move on to the next talking point here. We're talking about Liberia, and this is a country that needs drastic change. This is a country that has gone back. If we should look at pre-war days in Liberia, one can say that the country has gone back more than 50 years, okay, compared to pre-war days. Pre-war days, we had stable electricity, we had stable water, and even people who could not afford to pay water bill, they would go somewhere around the corner and break the pipe, and they will have free water. And still, people are living. Things are going on. People who could not afford to pay light bill, they will pass through somebody and steal light, so to speak. And life was still going on. Things were all right. Okay? I mean, parents could trust their children going to school alone. Okay? And you couldn't, people were not, there were crimes in Liberia, right? But dead bodies were not found everywhere around the place. Okay? People were not afraid to walk in the night. But the country has gone from worse to bad. And even during the wartime, somebody wants to overly state, who will say that during the wartime was better compared to what we're going through after the war, especially under this administration. Now, here is the RIA, the Roberts International Airport. And every country has 3 gateways. Not every country. There are countries that are landlocked. They do not have seaports. So if your country is landlocked, you do not have a seaport, you got 2 major gateways: your land borders and your air borders. Okay. Mm-hmm. So Liberia happens to be lucky that we got 3 gateways: our water borders, our land border, in our airspace. Now, as we look, Liberia does not attract most of its tourists or visitors through the port of Monrovia, the free port of Monrovia, because we do not have that facility. So mostly people travel by land or they come through the airport. Now, here the airport is completely dark, and there seems to be no solution to the problem. Recently, it was said that the president, when he traveled, he came back, there was no light at the airport, and it was like, for me, it's euros. So sometimes it's hard to ask the question because we should not be asking ourselves these questions. We should rather be asking the authorities, right? But how do you guys look at it? What do you think is the problem here? Is it just mere mismanagement, or is it incompetence, or what's happening? You got a new terminal, you got a new airport building, and then you can provide light.
Yeah, like for the question is not difficult to ask. I tell you, we tend to give our elected officials and officials of government a pass, right? Look, that should not be happening in the 21st century, guys. It should not be happening. It should not. All right? This government is incompetent. They won't accept the fact that they have failed. My only worry here is come 2023, our people don't make the same mistake again. I'm afraid. And Liberians are gullible people, right? You never know what they're going to do. They get to the pool, they have somebody in their mind to vote for, and they get there, and then they change their mind and do the wrong thing. All right? We elect our government to work for us. That airport, how long does it take to electrify that place? You are taking $100,000 to give to ULA. That should be giving money to you in Liberia. That should be assisting in Liberia. You don't think it was prudent to give that $100,000 to buy a backup generator to electrify the airport? That's a shame and disgrace, guys. And when you say those things, other people on the other side will take it out of context.
That's right.
That you don't like Joe Weir. I don't have to like the man. I elected him to work for me. He's the president of our country. And I don't hate him either. But he needs to work. He is the president of the country. This is his turn. Everything that happened in that country, from missing children, their bodies,
yep,
he's responsible for that. He's the president. So guys, this government have failed us. But my fear here again is our people will continue to talk to them, will continue to reach out to them so that they don't make that mistake again. But I'm afraid. Thank you.
Yeah. What is there any security implication when it comes to such thing? Because what we'll be looking at is that the country is not safe.
Yeah.
The country is not safe. If the airport cannot be safe enough for the president, even if nobody else have electricity, it should be the airport. Especially they know their president travel and he's coming back. Okay, he's supposed to land, and you don't have electricity at the airport. Don't you think it's scary? What signal does that send to the international community? Tell me anybody coming to answer that question. Let me lay your premise. A few weeks ago or a month ago, there was an airline that was supposed to land at the RIA, and because of lack of electricity, they had to divert to Sierra Leone. Can you imagine? So what if there is any emergency in our airspace? Because according to international law, if there is an air flight or aircraft in your international airspace, and that flight is experiencing any problem, technical problem, whatever, you have to provide your airspace immediately to save lives. So Liberia as it is now does not meet that qualification. Okay, so what security implication does that provide? Does that actually give, or the image of the country?
Linford, I think there's feedback coming from your end there, so you need to look at it before we get.
No, I don't think it's me.
But I think I'm getting it clear though.
It's not me.
The feedback is coming from somewhere different.
Yeah, somebody got device on. It's not me. I'm only using headphone.
Right. So I will say that you can hear me.
Yeah, we hear you.
Yeah.
Okay. I will say this. You talk about security. I would say the safety of Liberians that are going in and out flying. Imagine you left from here, Norway. After 6 hours of flight, there's fuel reduction in the airplane. You get there, there's no light, you can't land, and you'll be flying around. If you can remember years back, I think it was during the Charles Taylor time. Linford, mute yourself. Let's see what the feedback will go. Just mute yourself.
Yeah. Okay, talk.
Now it's stopped. Frankie, mute yourself. Let's see some. Okay. The feedback stopped.
Yeah, from Franklin.
So
you gotta reduce the volume of whatever you're listening to.
It was during the Charles Taylor time, if I can recall. They had similar incident in Liberia. I think the late Walter Penner and Joe Tay, they were traveling from Maryland to Monrovia. There was no light on both of the airports. What happened? The people crashed. So imagine you left from Norway, traveling to Liberia after 6-7 hour flight. You arrive on the coast. There's no light. And the fuel consumption have dropped. You think they will have to go to Africa because there's no light? So yes, security-wise, we're not safe going in a country that don't have light. The gateway of the country should be the number one priority in any government. That is welcoming people into the country. That is it's like you coming to my house. If my front porch is dirty, I mean, I'm a dirty person. That is you welcoming me. The gateway to the country should be the number one priority in everything. Light, clean, from the port all the way Monrovia should be electrified. Simple. Why are they finding it so difficult to do? We're in a 21st century where you have means of generating power. Liberia is sitting on a coast. Right on that coast, you can have a wind turbine right there to supply electricity. You will have the best sun. Why we can have solar system, land all over there to have electricity? It's just not something just not right with these people. When people are not competent, that's what you get. So I will let that Mr. Robert to come in and look at this.
Well, Paul, and you guys, Paul is hitting the nail on the head, and he's saying things that we don't. It's not that we don't know is there, right?
Right.
Examples. I mean, accidents happen in every part of the world, even in developed countries. I think it was in the 80s at JFK in New York City. A plane coming from Mexico ran out of fuel and had to drop because people just couldn't find a place to land. So those things happen. However, minimizing these things is the key. So for us, when I was home and before I left, I think there was a flight coming from Maryland, coming to Springfield, crashed, and I had a whole bunch of guys who were training at Springfield and all that kind of stuff. But the key is, and one of the reasons why we have to be cognizant of taking a critical look of what Mr. Cummings is trying to bring to the country, we have to change our mindset. We have to change the way the country has been operating
An example, we had the Ebola crisis a few years ago, right? We didn't have ambulance or ambulances. We didn't have a hospital facility. We didn't have triage. We didn't have a fire system. And so there's so many things that the country needs to get done. We are not in kindergarten. We are adults. We cannot keep looking to partners. We cannot keep looking to donors. A few years ago, I traveled to Aruba, and
Tanzania.
yes, this place, these people survive on tourism, right?
Right.
And they survive on tourism, and they survive on the aloe plants. You know the big thorny plants that's kind of like slippery when you cut it. Well, to take that thing to make hair products, to make soap, to make drinks. It's a small part of the industry. If we're sitting in a country, and I asked this question when I was there, in we had a business luncheon at the Palm Hotel. We're sitting next to the on the side of the Palm Hotel that looks at the Atlantic Ocean, and we had some government officials, and this guy was talking about the state of the economy, and he was talking about how we were importing pepper, fish, we're importing everything. But the thing that caught me, and I had to say something, was at the time he said they were importing 43,000 tons of fish. I'm like, hang on for a second. That liquid that we see flowing over there, what's that thing called? Somebody said the Atlantic Ocean. I said, and you're telling me Liberia, for all intents and purposes, we are sitting in the Atlantic Ocean and we are importing fish? Who are we importing fish from? You see what I'm saying? So we have the means. We have to get off our butts and start applying what we know. We do not have to be experts at the start. We do not have to be seasoned veterans. We don't have to be highly educated. There are simple things that can be done in uniformity, done together as a team that we can build from. We can build an economy from any little thing. I approached the then government, and I won't say the person's name because we're on air, but we approached the thing, and we're looking at the issue with the Seamen's Union. And the issue was all these ships that come to Liberia, they do not employ Liberians. I'm like, but why? So the union, when they came to me, they asked me to represent them, and they were going to go on strike. I said, no, guys, we don't have to strike for every little thing. Let's go find out why. It boiled down to the ID cards, the registration cards that the seamen have in Liberia. That thing is from the 60s. It was typewritten. Well, the International Maritime Organization, IMO, in the 21st century is modern, right? So if the ships come to the country and you got something from the 60s and 70s or 50s, they're going to be like, you're not current. We can't hire you. So it can be fixed. So let's fix it. How do we fix it? We can get people to Ghana, which is the closest country that has IMO facilities that can certify our people. And let's do something. And then we can, as we get people trained, we can work towards doing the training in the country if we get certified. So these are simple things that can be done, right? We have the means. We have to have the will. So airline, you're flying from Europe, you're flying from America, you're coming to RIA, the pilots are communicating with each other, scared about where to land because the place is not lit. You fly over the Atlantic Ocean in darkness. That's a danger. Why haven't we fixed that yet? It's a simple fix. If it means going out to rent trucks, we can put lamps on so that people can have the airfield lit, do it. Until you can get to such a time where you can have a self-standing, self-operating equipment, and that can have this thing alleviated. Well, people have been hired to come to the country, contractors, everything. Why are we still in the dark, right? So I say for Liberia, we have a presidential contest coming up in another year. We have to take some serious look at who has this country at heart, who has the facility, not necessarily financial, but who has the blueprint, who has the program, who has what it takes to get us from, again, I'm going to use a term that was used in the 70s by a former president, who's going to take us from the mat and put us on the mattress.
Okay. Sometimes it's good to have these kind of discussions because you got brains coming together and
yeah. Go ahead.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Wait,
I wanted to just correct Mr. Robert there with country being the heart, right? We have a president that had a country in his heart, and he came to power with country in his heart. And we say we're looking for somebody competent, right? That will be able to deliver our country and also do the right thing. We don't want somebody with a country in their heart, because we are saying that and we know how to function. So we have somebody competent in this race. Thank you.
Well, Franklin, hang on now. Again, you depend on what you call in the heart. It's not one standard, right? It's not a rigid standard. People can apply that any way they want. So let's be careful. While we're looking for competence, we have to have a person who loves Liberia, right?
Yes.
Who loves being
so
Liberia.
It should be the key word there. Love Liberia.
Yeah, you can't say so you can't say, oh, this person is popular and he's going to save us, and we find out that, well, popularity is not a saving grace. Okay.
Yeah.
However, we have to have as an ordinary citizen in America, when Ronald Reagan ran, and that he asked the simple question: are you better off today than you were yesterday, last week, last month? You see, is what we're saying. So when we're going to measure what things are going to happen, Alex spoke about a $1 billion industry for Liberia. Everybody's like, oh, it'll be done. Are you serious? Let me give you an example. Our capital city of Monrovia, right? And when I say this, don't take it wrong. And I'm not cursing the city. I'm just giving a situation analysis, right? Our capital city is not one of the best capital cities, right? However, if we hire 2,000 to 3,000 to 4,000 to 5,000 persons to clean up that city, we can get a beautified Monrovia. Do you know, in the developed world, example in America, somebody can be a street cleaner for 20, 30, 40 years, have a career, support their family, put their kids through school. You see what I'm saying? So these things, not everybody got to run for office, not everybody got to be a politician, not everybody got to be a banker, but we have to find a means of making these things work. So if we can get people, we can hire people, give them a regular salary to clean up the city, we can have a beautified city, and then we can have a means of economic activity. We can start an economy just from people cleaning up the city. Forget a lot of other things. You know what I'm saying? I'm not an economist, but for somebody who, like Alex, who ran this kind of stuff, I'm pretty sure he has a lot of these things that he wants to bring to the table. So that's what we have to look at.
The key thing Liberia lacks is people who are thinking. That's why we lack. And I'll give you a sample. You see, Liberia, a small country. I live in Norway. Norway, the land mass of Norway is big. Very long country with nothing. Practically nothing grows here besides somewhere on the west coast. People grow little strawberries and some small fruits, some sour apples that they make with juice, and then the fishing industry. And if you look at America, look at the cold part of America towards Canada, like Salt Lake City, Minnesota, Washington State, and Utah, all these places, they are occupied by Norwegians and Swedish and Danish. These guys were poor here. They were very, very poor. More than Liberia. They all migrated. The few that couldn't go, they remain here until in the 60s when they discovered the oil. We are not thinking, when I say we are not thinking, when Norway discovered oil, what happened? Uncle Sam came and they wanted to take all the oil. They told us, no, what you do, train us. You can operate for some time and train us, give us the technical know-how, and then we'll stand on our own. And what happened? Today, Norwegians, in 2008, Norway became the richest country in the entire world next to America. Okay, small country with 4.5 million people, just like Liberia.
Yeah.
Move all the foreigners for it, the guys will go to 3 million people. Okay, these people, they are thinking as we speak. There is a mountain somewhere in the north of Norway, in the ice. They have dug that tunnel in the mountain. They are storing the seeds of any edible food. In that cassava, just one part of it can grow. They are storing it there. With the plan, their mind is that we even get mad at them. They got all the oil money. We stay here working hard. And, they so we divide the money all free. According to them, the money they can pay you free in the country. You know what I want? But they're keeping their money and doing all the projects, thinking that there will come time where food business will be high, and we now will be able to supply the rest of the world with the seeds of food that can grow. So the people are thinking ahead of us. We discovered oil in Liberia. What did our government do? We divided the black oil and sold everything right away. Disregarding
money.
Yeah, disregarding the future generation. Firestone King gave a 99 years contract, disregarding the future generation who will be tapping for 99 years. Okay, that's besides the point. Then we go to the maritime industry. When you are talking about the seamen, I was just laughing. I'm a maritime, I would not say expert, but I did ship and port management at a bachelor level, and I did my master's in international maritime shipping and logistics in the UK. So I know everything that you're talking about. I had the Indian boys who were my classmates. Most of them on the ships right now as we speak. And they were joking me. They said, you got Chinese Liberians, you got Indian Liberians. I said, what do you mean? They said, but because most of the boys were working on the ship before they even came to school. They said, but we got most of our colleagues are one way, they got Liberian passport. Can you imagine? And how did I go into shipping? Okay. I'm a journalist by nature or by profession for Liberia. I decided to go to school here, to college here. When I went, I saw one professor, he told me, don't waste your time to do journalism because this is a white-collar job. You're not compete with Norwegian. You got to learn the language from A to Z. Okay? So what else can you do? I said, I don't know. He said, I'll give you a brochure. He gave me one small booklet I carry home. It's about shipping. He said, your country, he said, you come from Liberia. Liberia is the second largest ship registry country in the world next to Panama.
Next to Panama.
Registry. Yeah. Open registry. Okay? And you got a lot of ships that fly your flag. So you have a lot of chances in the maritime industry. That's how I enjoy the shipping. Okay. And you'll be surprised to know that according to the maritime law, if the ship is flying your country, 50% of the workforce on that ship should be provided by your country. How many Liberians working on ships? We got more than 10,000 ships running our flags. How many of our people working there? It all boils down to placing the wrong people in wrong position. You got every time they get hurried, they grab and carry them at the point. You know how many opportunities we lose? No, let me tell you, I was opportune to attend some we call the shipping fairs in China, in Amsterdam, all the places where you go and your port, you see port managers, they're selling their ports, literally selling the port. Telling them what other companies, they got some companies from, let me tell you the fact, they got companies carrying their companies on their head, managers carrying their companies on their head, looking for place to place them. Okay? Like in the maritime industry. How many times you see Liberia represented at these shipping fairs where you sell the free port of Montreal? Okay? As the free port of Montreal is, we do have one terminal for cruise ship. Nothing. But because you grab every time they can hurry and put them in position, we are not thinking. That's why we lack. We don't lack the resources. We got it. But our leaders are not thinking. The people of can generate enough money for us in Liberia. We don't even need to collect revenue from other places. The free people of Montreal, the ship that fly off flags, how many of them go to Liberia? Because the conditions are bad. So I don't know.
How many of them are owned by us?
Right.
Giving our flags.
Well, Linford, guys, one of the things about our home, and I spent 2016 to 2018 there, working with the Exxon drill team, and I was fortunate to get that opportunity. I was blessed, I can say, and I learned some very critical issues with the country. One of the first things I know is our young people are dying for the exposure, for the help. We still have our country is very talented. We are blessed, not just with the physical geologic resources. We are blessed with human resource, but that human resource needs grooming. That human resource needs to be exposed to the global economy in a way that they can participate from home. So our leaders, anyone who get to a position of governance, of policy making, has to understand that it's about entrepreneurship. It's about training your successor. One of the things, and frankly, I discussed this earlier. One of the things you learn when you get into the Western world, where you are in Finland, where you are, whatever position you get in the corporate world, in the government world, you're not there because of your your talent or your smartness or something. You're there to train your successor, because this is how the country sustains itself, right? Think about it. We would not be humans on earth if we didn't reproduce, right? So for a developed country to sustain itself, you have to keep bringing out the crop. It's like farming. You have to keep bringing out the good fruit. And so this is what we have to incorporate in Liberia. During the exercise, we had the seaman union thing that we approached. The people, Asilomita trying to Liberianize and all, and you keep going, having people going through these how would I put it, petty discussions that really don't look at the big picture, right? And when I was fortunate to see the manifest of the what's the thing called, the rig when it came up from Mozambique, and there were almost 2,000 people on that rig from all over the world. We only managed to send less than 30 people for the exercise.
Wow.
Not only that, we sent less than 30 people, we didn't send a person, the person that was supposed to go on, who understood the underwater, the deep sea drilling, who could read the difference between hydrocarbon and dirt, wasn't allowed to go. And I'm not going to get into that whole thing, but it's just one of the things. But when I got the manifest and looked at the roster, we had less than 1% of Liberia represented on that thing. So take, for example, these people I said we found oil, right? And they were going to be able to produce, say, 1,000 barrels of oil a day at the price of, at the time, $35 a barrel. So that's $3.5 million a day over the whole year. We're talking billions of dollars, right?
Right.
Out of those billions of dollars, from the representation, we're going to get, if we have 1% represented on the workforce, how much do you think we're going to get back? So there are a lot of things we're not looking at the big picture. We're not ready for. I don't know. I don't understand why, but these things we have to start getting ready for. We have to start facing the tough choices, making the tough decisions, and these decisions mean having a sustainable Liberia and a better Liberia.
Wow. And again, just to throw light on some of those things, one thing our leaders fail to understand here is human development. Okay. Training the next generation, all right, to be able to succeed them as they move forward. Our leaders don't think that way. They don't. They only care about themselves. Okay. In some part of 2018, no, not 2018, when Barack was about to leave office, when McCain was still alive, on his deathbed, for the sake of his grandchildren and his children, he walked on the Senate floor and voted to uphold Obamacare. Somebody that a medical doctor have told, look, you got 2 days to live or a week to live. But for the sake of the future generation, he got off his sick bed and went and voted to maintain and uphold Obamacare. How patriotic can you be? Our leaders don't think that way. They don't care about the next generation. They only care about themselves. So there are so many things in our country that need to be corrected. And sometimes you don't know where to start from. But we hope we will continue to make the case, and our people will understand that it's important to make the right decision comes 2023. There are so many resources in our country that we can tap into. There are a lot of young people in our country. I would say our country comprises of 80% of the young population, young men and women. All right? Just human capacity. You can generate a lot of funds, a lot of money out of that.
And do you know, Franklin, do you know the reason why? I mean, I'm just building my own conspiracy around this thing. Do you know the reason why our leaders do not want to develop or invest in a human capacity? One reason could be that they don't want any competition. Now, if you got
exactly.
Ambassador Joseph Walker, who has been working in government for all the years. This man should have a foundation helping children or helping to mold the minds of the future leaders of the country. But at his age, he still wants to become president. He still wants to run, competing with people. And then I hear people say Cummings is desperate. Yes. Every human being by nature is desperate, or else you and I will not, the day we started ABC, we should have just decided, okay, at least I know ABC, so let me sit down. But because we are desperate
to do the right thing.
Yeah, we are desperate to improve ourselves.
Yes.
We continue. First grade all the way to 12th grade, then we went further. Until we, even if they bring new thing now, anything that is new, apart from the alphabet that we learn, then they brought computer, you remember myself learning computer, I'm using it today.
Right.
So everybody's desperate. So Mr. Cummings went through the rank and file of his company that he worked for. He was honorably retired from the corporate world. This man has never even become a secretary in government. Okay, so he says, "Well, I think with my idea, I think I can contribute to government." And you know, our governmental system is set up such a way that you got to be at the top there to be able to do the things that are supposed to happen. So he said, "Well, I think I can contribute." Then here is somebody who has been there, has even gone second to the highest office in the world. In the country. He says, "No, you can." That man should be mentoring Mr. Cummings. Okay, they say, "Look, my son, I see you got the potential. Come." And these are two people who know each other for a very long time. So I'm saying apart by the confusion between these two people. Yeah. Nobody should have actually gotten between them. I just don't understand. So Mr. Walker should have said, "Look, listen, Cummings, I know you for years. Okay, I've been the second man in command before. I know how the thing works. So what I will do is I will help you. I'll push you up. Okay, when you get there, I'll be like a faster. Okay, but the man is desperate. So people say Cummings wants to be president, yeah, because he had not been president. He had not even been secretary in government before. So he's desperate to become. But what about you who are going to the highest? Why you still want to fight? If Cummings was to return to the corporate world, if you were to return to Coca-Cola and say, I still want to be this, that, then we can use the word desperation on him. That means because he has seen everything that there is. Okay? It's like me. I used to play football when I came to Europe. I was playing football, in my country here. Okay? Now, today I told my children down. I know what I go keep ball, grab my whole forehead, I can move. So if I go stay and mother children now to say I play football, I'm desperate. You see it? Because I tell what I could do. So what am I looking for anymore? So for those of you who
and like
Mr. Cummings is desperate, you don't know the real definition of desperate.
Desperate. Mm-hmm. You have, and this is not anything against the former vice president. He has served our country. And we not too personal, but again, we should be fair and balanced here, guys. The CPP were funded to give hope to the Liberian people. Mm-hmm. And we took the CPP to a trial under the leadership of Mr. Cummings, and we were successful, right? Why are people bringing all the cases and throwing stuff out there? Because they are afraid to compete. Why you have a document that you all sat and agree upon? There are different criteria leading to the chairmanship. Mm-hmm. Why not relax and follow the procedure? if you consider yourself to be the change, you say you are popular though. Popularity is yours because you still have this number back somewhere for you since 2023. Because if we start talking about, 2007, if we start talking about the numbers, then guys, we should not be talking about election here. All right. If elections are starting, numbers are starting, then George Weah will still be the next president because the last time when I look, he won the election.
Yeah.
So that's a baseless argument. All right. So, allow the process to go through. You are popular. You are popular. Why are you afraid? Why are you afraid of defeat?
I want to ask you a question.
Go ahead.
Right. Mr. Robert said something about love, right?
Yes.
A true love for a country. If you serve your country at a certain age, maybe 60, 65 is retirement. That means I love my country. You start nourishing the young person to take over from you. If you so love the country, why is it that you accusing somebody being desperate and you have served to the highest seat that you don't want to give way? What is that? Is that a love?
No, here you go. Where Paul, I don't consider that to be love. And I will go back again to what Mr. Ravas alluded to as far as our leaders in power not nourishing the young people. The reason former Vice President Boakai is in the radio, they did not prepare anybody. All right? They did not train young people to take after them. So he has this mindset that no, it should be me only. Because when he looked back, they did not train anybody or nurture anybody to step in that position. So looking at Mr. Comey coming from the corporate world and trying to come and serve his country, that's a threat to them. Where is he coming from? We did not nurture him. We did not train him. He's an asala. Where is he coming from? So that's the problem over there. Have the true love they are not nurturing young people to take over, because if he had done so, then now it will be easier for him to go into retirement, because that's something that he had prepared his mind for. That look, we are nurturing all the young people. Now I'm in my 80 or going to 80. Let me not go into this thing any longer and step aside. And guys, I don't know why, and Honorable Boakai he's a public figure here. I think we can discuss that, his medical condition. But I can tell you, based on my expertise and what I know, with his condition, if he was my father, I would advise him not to run.
Okay, let me just say a couple of quick things. First thing, one of the issues that's been killing Africa for all these centuries is the issue of paternity. Father knows right. The difference between Africa and the rest of the world, especially the developed world, is diversity and inclusion. The rest of the world tap into the population. They foster contribution from every member of society. Every member of society, an entrepreneur, a worker, a developer, an investor, everybody plays in the field, and everybody contribute to the well-being of the country. And again, these are lessons that we have to learn. What gets me is there are people in Liberia who come out of Liberia, get exposed, go back to the country, and live as isolationists. They don't want to encourage. They don't want to encourage succession planning. They don't want to mold future leaders. They don't want to mentor others to come to the forefront. And you see the stagnation and the issues that are happening on the continent over and over. One quick example. When we're there, one of the things we did was we tried to develop local content to supply to the businesses. When we talked to businesses, they were afraid that the local content weren't well trained, they weren't responsible. Example, Linford, you're in Finland. You know what snow does when that season comes, right? For all of us in America who live in snow country, we know what it does when that season comes, right? But we still have to go out there to do our jobs, right? We still have to report to work. So we're in Liberia and the children not coming to work. We say, why? They say, oh, it's raining. And it's not their fault because people haven't told them that a job is not a privilege. It's not a right. I mean, it's not a right. It's a privilege.
It's a privilege.
Yes, it's not
I'm
a
not
right.
going to school today because it's raining.
Yeah, you see what I'm saying? So I'm sorry to laugh, guys. I don't mean to laugh, but these are the kind of things we got to wean out of the system.
I mean, it's humorous.
Yeah. But yes, the thing though, we train. We have something called work readiness, right? And we train the kids that came to us, and we put out flyers, we announced, and children came, and there were times we have up to 50 people coming for training. We give them, we train them in computer literacy, we train them how to write a resume and how to do an interview, and we sent out the first group to the banks. Out of the first group of, I think it was maybe 10 to a dozen, 5 of those kids got hired. They came back. They said we should pray. We prayed, and those kids were crying. We're like, why are you crying? They said, nobody in Liberia did or have done or does what you did to get us prepared for the workforce and get us a job. See what I'm saying? Now, we were just a small, very tiny subset of what can be done. What's the thing called? Civil service, right? That system needs to be changed from the ground up. We got to cut out nepotism in society. People got to compete on their capabilities, education, experience. Not compete because they know me or they know you, and I'm going to give somebody a job because they're my relative. What if the person is incompetent? Now we're going to be killing that opportunity. We're going to be killing that job. You see the problem we're having?
Yes.
So this is some hard truth we have to face, and we have to start doing this thing if we want to change this country. Again, I'm going to hop back to Alex. Alex didn't come in America and just survive. But everybody who in the Western world didn't know that. You got to compete.
You got to compete.
And you're competing against other people that are not where you come from, right? They don't know you. They don't even want to know you. All they want to know is, can you do the job?
It reminds me, every time I hear this word, people say, oh, Liberian men don't know time. That's a big lie.
Yes.
But the system in Liberia, we had a debate a few days ago, and Paul was trying to say, blame our colleagues, like those of you who live in America, and you've been coming to Liberia and you've been getting jobs, but you can't change the system. So I say, Paul, it's not the people, it's the system, the government system. You see, my wife comes from Asia. I've traveled through Asia. And there's one place in Asia that I'm afraid to always travel, Singapore. This country, the moment you get there, they will let you know you can't spit in the street. You can't chew chicle, and in case you chew chicle, you go to jail. Because the tendency is you're trapping in the street. So these people, they go straight by rules, and their rules abound. Now, Liberia, they say we no time. But all of you that come to Liberia, from Liberia to America, how many of you will miss a flight? You always at the airport on time, right?
The airport is job.
You go there 2 hours after and tell the boss, I no time. I got a cousin who want DV. The guy was supposed to travel to America like tomorrow morning, right? But he came one morning before. So he slept and he came that morning, he stayed there the whole day. The same time he was sort of board the flight the next day. But he came that morning, he stayed there the whole day, he slept there, then the next and when he told me the story, I was laughing. He said, yeah, you have one miss a flight. And we here in Norway, summertime coming, most of the companies, and here you got like 4 or 5 people working in offices. I mean the whole company, okay? Almost every company will close. Even churches will close because they'll take holiday. So all can go on holiday, and so to speak. You see, in the winter is the time we work. It's minus 27, 28. Since I've been in the country, the lowest degree I ever encountered was 2001, when it was minus 40 for three days. I've just come in the country 1 year, 3 days, were minus 40. Okay? I was in a refugee camp at that time, minus 40. We were inside for 3 days. You cannot breathe outside. I'm telling you straight up. People die. So, but this is the time that people can work in the winter. And my first job in this country was carpenter. I know being carpenter before, to go outside and stay in the mountain where it's minus 20 constantly, minus 25, 30. Okay? You feel cold all the way to your knee. You can't pass your knee. My boss told me the day you feel cold past your knee, coming to your tire, you get crippled, you move, you're stopping. See? But we're going to work on time. So I have not been late yet. So they say librarian no time, but it's a system that we got in our country. Okay, so people we're talking about people not investing in a human resource. And one of the reasons I gave, they don't want competition, because if you got a lot of educated people, the few guys who got all running around the place who work, they're working, go there, will not have the opportunity. Okay, so they rather suppress you and keep you as you are. And then when they keep you like that for long, then you accept it. You know how the elephants and all the powerful animals got in the zoo? They didn't walk willingly in the zoo, no. The first elephant or the first leopard that they all carry in the zoo, that guy, he suffered. The lion, you're roaring and fighting, but the zookeeper suppressed him. They will let him fight. When they get ready, they give him food, he eat. So after a certain time, he just into himself and said, I think I just got to accept it. I just got to be like this. This is what our leaders do to us. They suppress you. So then you, at a certain point, you reach, you say, okay, I can't be anything. So I'll just be supporting them now. When they want to run for election, they come, they get smart thing, you take it, you vote.
Therefore,
it's control.
We Liberians with no time. And I can tell you that if you get to Liberia now, tell somebody tomorrow morning, be at my house 6 a.m. for $10. 4 o'clock in the morning, you'll be at your house.
Paul, you need to stop. But it's true. It's true.
There's no time.
Yeah.
But you guys ready to say, it's the situation we find ourselves in. We need leaders now that are innovative enough to bring in different ideas. And Liberia is so blessed now to have one of our kind that have managed to work all over the place. You see, working in Nigeria, Liberia, the United Kingdom, South Africa, United States, those are all experience that this guy is bringing to everybody. When I was in the UK, this is how the people work. When I was in South Africa, this is how the people work. We are so blessed to have somebody in our midst.
Yes.
But
Exactly.
why is it Liberia not trying to work this guy out and they keep saying, oh, the man is a stranger? He's a Liberian. If that was Nigeria or Ghanaian, oh, this guy that will embrace him.
All right, Chairman, let me tell you something. I have a couple of friends from Nigeria and some from Ghana, and they follow our politics closely. People love Liberia. Other nationality, right? African, when you tell them you're from Liberia, they fall in love with you. I don't know what about our country that people really love. Liberians, we get out there. Once you introduce yourself as a Liberian, people tend to gravitate towards you. I think it's just the kind of oneness that we have in our heart, and also being the earliest Liberian Republic. The guy told me, look, what's wrong with you guys? So you have a decent man, the Mr. Cummings, this man that have served in the corporate war. Before he ascended to that office or to the top, the executive level, he did not bribe anybody, more especially a black man. in a white man land made it to that level. You see, we have Mr. Cumming running for the president in our country and a citizen to run for our president in our country. We would not even hesitate to throw our support behind this man. But you guys are missing out on something. If you miss it, I don't know where you're gonna go next. All right. And the issues that our leaders living down the street, and then right next to them, somebody is dying or somebody is going to bed with hunger, and the feeder is okay. How do you live in a society like that? We have to change our mind. Our minds have to change. You cannot change just your life and your family life, and then you forget about your neighbors and people down the line. Yeah, you can't do that. Frankly, how do we move forward? People leave, our leaders.
Okay. No, all right. In this case, I will not blame the leaders. You know why? I will blame the people who vote for them. Now, I've always said this, even to my own people. That little card you got that you call the voter's card, that's
all you have.
Yeah, that's all you have in the country. Now, you know, the definition of government is that, and I got this from one senator who is senator now. Before a long time, he wasn't senator, he was just a minister. He defined government as the property of everybody in the town. This town is a town that everybody lives, and everybody got one house, which is the government. They all build a house, they clean it, they do everything, but all of them cannot go inside. Only few selected group of people can go inside, which is the government. But the house that belongs to everybody. And the people who go in that hall, they don't want to know what happened in the hall. The rest of the town people know it, but they can only take care of the house. So say all of us cannot become president, all of us cannot become minister. We put our power inside those people that we select, so that they'll do the best thing for us. And they work for us. But the voters do not know. So if I vote for Franklin this year, Franklin become president, Franklin forgets me. He's not thinking about me anymore. Then after 6 years, Franklin will come back to me again and say, oh, my man, and I come back here. Then I know I've been suffering all along. Franklin and I were the same. When I voted for him, his condition had changed. He lived in a better place. I said, living way down there. If I'm even worse, then he comes back to me. You think I will not think if I love myself? Our people do not love themselves because you got to like yourself. You know, the first law of nature is what? Self-preservation. Look at yourself first, because anything that you have to do, if you are not well or you're not good in condition, you will not be able to do anything. So you have to take care of yourself first. So after 6 years,
you know, yeah,
the same people coming back to our people again, and what they'll do, they'll go vote for them.
Yes. So and therefore, you know, this is how the people control our people, right?
Exactly. That's what I was going to say.
And you have on the Maslow's hierarchies of needs, your basic need would be food and water, and then the next thing will be security, right? But if you are stuck in this area all of the time, 24 hours around the clock, 7 days a week, 12 months a year, continuously stuck in this one area, how do you move forward? And our leader understands our people very well.
Very well.
That goes back again to suppressing the people, oppressing them, so that they don't rise to your level and challenge you. All right? So all we need to do here is continue to talk to our people, because think about it, and it's sad to say, 75% of our population are illiterate. Guys,
it's deliberate.
All right. So we will have to go back.
It's deliberate or conditions.
When Franklin finished, I would get it.
No, why? Yeah, I will give you a chance to elaborate on that. Okay. All right. So we will have to go down. Lenford, how many of people understand that the voter card is everything that they have when it comes around election? That is, it's powerful than any other thing. We'll have to go from committee to committee and talk to our people. All right, have the little group talk and inform them and educate them on how to vote and how important that card is. Because think about it. A woman that is sitting over there that, they are not that she are not saying $50 or $25 in her life, and somebody walk and say, I'm going to buy a voting card, $25, or I'll give you $75. What would they do? Their child is hungry. They will sell it. So sometimes we don't hold it responsible. But you need people to get out there on the field and tell them, look, you are about again to go to election. You have to be very careful. You have to be very careful because the decision that you made now will affect you 6 years to come. And we can just lay that in the simplest form to them. I think it will resonate and it will make an informed decision. But it requires people going on the ground to do the work. All right. So, Mr. Roberts, go ahead and tell me why it says.
Why you think that people deliberately don't want to be educated?
No. I didn't say. I didn't mean that the people deliberately didn't want to be educated. I'm saying the people are deliberately being kept from being educated.
Oh,
guess why?
Okay.
Guess why?
Yeah.
Bob Marley is a genius. He made a song, Emancipate Yourself from Mental Slavery. Yes. Remember that song?
Yeah.
So, what I think about what's going on in Liberia is a cartel administration. And I don't want to put drugs in it, but you have people running this thing at like a cartel. They run it by fear and they run it by control. So when you keep the other people suppressed, looking for food, looking for way to sustain themselves. I was home and I befriended the Zogos, and I had these boys come to wash my car, right? And I felt so bad that all I could do was give them a few dollars, and these people followed me. So, and it was the time I had to tell them, guys, back off. You know what I'm saying? And if I was going to be one of those kind of people who wanted to carry that on and go use it for political gain, I would have the Zogos to back me. You see what I'm saying? And I had to keep helping these kids, trying to get them into school. You know what I'm saying? So I had an opportunity one time to go up to Islamitown to do some training for them. I had to train the staff in Excel and PowerPoint. And while I was in the training center, and we're on a little break, so I walked to the window and I looked across, and there was this little elementary school. But on that dirt road, the trucks go by there, right? But every now and then I would see the little kids run across the street, and I'm thinking they were coming into the training center. No, they were going in the back of the training center, going to the bushes to use the bathroom. I'm like, where are these kids going? They say they're going to use the bathroom. I said, you telling me that building that's a school don't have a bathroom for these kids?
No.
But what even made me more scared, somebody had told a story how they had killed a cobra in the back of this place. Like they brought the medicine man to catch the cobra, and the cobra ran through a hole, and he put his hand in there, and the thing bit him. He died in another place. So I'm like, and this is where the kids are going? Yeah, the medicine man died from the snake bite. But the kids are going in this place to use the bathroom. You see what I'm talking about, the mental slavery? You know what I'm saying? So it's about control and fear, and it's about that cartel, and we have to do our best to get that cartel out of there.
I was giving you guys this example with the tiger and the elephant in the zoo.
Yes.
That's what they do. Because once they keep you there like that, you'll reach a certain time, you accept it.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, you will never fight back. That's why our people do not fight.
Yes,
they just accept it. They will not fight back.
Yes. Linford, you guys are right. I was in Morofio a few weeks ago, and I was trying to make the case in the community at work, telling people about comments. And this woman was passing, said, what do you think you're talking? Besides Joe, we know who to vote for. So she's telling us now, because she's in a mental slavery, that I don't know anything better now. I'm confused. So you guys are right. The people don't know.
You know, Mr. Chairman.
One second, friendly. Let me just say one more thing before. Let me just put a bigger picture of this thing. That control, right? Again, it's not unique to Liberia. Unfortunately, we're Liberians and we've seen it, but it's not unique to Liberia. Let me give you a quick story. In 2000 and I think it was 7 and 8, during the first time Barack ran, we went to do voter registration in Alabama, Mississippi, Texas, and we came back to Florida, right? We're in Mississippi, and we went to a YMCA, and we had the table out there registering people to vote. And my eye caught this black lady standing in a corner, observing. And I kept saying, I said, look like she wants to come, but she not sure. So I walked to her. I went over. I said, ma'am, would you like to come? She goes, what are you doing? I said, we're registering people to vote. She said, you mean I can vote? I said, yes. She says, I'm 83 years old. I have never voted in my life.
Wow.
I said, why not? She said, because of, I was afraid. They told us if we voted at the time, when I was young, when they told us if we voted, we'd be in trouble. So I just kept that thing in mind. I said, are you kidding me? So I said, no, come over. You can register to vote. So I explained to her the process, but she knew about Barack. But yes, what really blew me away. The lady said, I know he must be a good person, and he's running against this lady, but I don't want to vote for him because if he wins, they will kill him.
Yeah.
And this is in America in the 21st century, guys. I had to convince her that don't look at it that way. Look at it as in the 200 plus years of the existence of this country, no black man has gotten to the level he has gotten to. In your 83 years, before you die, wouldn't you like to be in your heart, say, I exercised my vote and I put the first black man president in the United States?
Good message.
See? Yes. So for us guys who are trying to tackle this issue, who are trying to bring change to our people, there will be a lot of this thing we have to do when we hit the ground. Our people, again, the control and the fear. But guys, the good news is they are seeing the difference. They might be hanging on because they don't have people to talk to, but think about it. I said this in 2017 when I was there during the election. The best thing that could have happened to Liberia was to elect George Weah. Why? Because we're going to have to learn at a certain point in life to stop making excuses and blaming other people for what's happening to the country.
Powerful. Liberia and Liberians are like a beautiful woman that, every man comes and sleep with and abuse, and then they leave. So this time around, you have this Mr. Right that comes your way, and then you say, you know what? You all are the same. This is the stage we are now. Nothing else to know but abuse.
That's right.
So even if you try to scold them or give them an alternative, they are stuck into that meta stage that, you know what? I'd rather stay with this guy that beat on me, hit on me all the time, abuse me, because this is what I know. So Mr. Right is coming along and saying, Lord, I'm here. Even though you've been around for 170 plus years, but I'm here though. I'm a different man. Look at me, I can change your life. And then they say, no, you guys are the same. This is a struggle right now in our country. And it will require a lot of work for the opposition. People to get out there and talk to our people. Guys, we cannot make that case sitting across the sea here. We have to go to Liberia.
Right.
And talk to our people.
Looking at his watch. But
The social media, and let me just finish up here, guys. The social media, when I was in Liberia a few months ago, we sit here and say everything's on the social media. all the beautiful stuff. Guys, this stuff is for the diaspora Liberian. That stuff is not reaching our people. All the talks right now here, they don't care about it. They don't even have a data to watch it.
That's right.
They don't have data for that.
Yes, part of the control.
They don't have time to sit here and waste their data. They want to watch it. But you have $2. Do you have time to sit there and sit here for an hour and television 2 hours to watch somebody? No. But when you're on the ground, my friend, when you talk about Mr. Cummings, the committee, people come around. That way you know that there are silent voters in our country. Willing, comes 2023 to get out there and catch the ballot. They can't wait. All right? So we sit here and say all the good stuff on the social media is not making an impact in our country. I'll be very honest with you. Everything we discuss here is for our people in the diaspora.
That's what we have to.
We will have to go to Liberia from house to house, from street to street, and talking to our people. I know CDC on the other side do have that strategy, but I can assure you that when they approach these people, they will tell them, you gather here. We know you. You are feel us. So we will have to go there with a counterclaim and say, look, we are the alternative. And our alternative is nobody but Mr. Alexander Cummings. The newcomer, the guy you call the newcomer, the guy you say he's not popular, but yeah, you try to hold him back.
Yeah.
All right. I have a message for them. The message here is you cannot stop this man. He's unstoppable because they are Mr. Alexander Cummings have created too many Alexander Cummings. So you can't stop it any longer.
Franklin, let me come in. You see, you are 100 and I would say 50% right. What would the social media is only for the diaspora?
Yes.
We're going to make a headway in Liberia. Apart from this social media, but we'll link this social media to Liberia.
Yes.
It's the key. And I'll tell you something. Borderline have an online radio. And one of these crazy evening, I came from work and decided to just share I got listener in Ghana. About 2 persons in Ghana listening to me. Because it's cheaper, that it does not consume more data. And I share that with few persons in Liberia. And they said, oh, wow, this thing is good. So, during the evening, one of the things we could do is to connect this to Liberia. One person will pick up something, that one person will get 10,000 persons from the simple message that we sell. And that's one of the guys that work with me have a barber shop right on Madonna Street. And I did something. I printed out Mr. Cummings' vision and left it in a barber shop. As when someone comes to cut their hair, those guys who gave the vision, when they read it, go, wow, we didn't know about this guy. And the thing just started going, the guy started low. So how to send it to them, they printed it on, it became a setting point for them. So before you leave that barber shop, you go there, the guys will start picking your mouth, they'll get into some sort of, say, but just read about this guy. And they just been selling Mr. Cummings like that. So we can do a lot. So I agree with you 150%. Liberia is the key. When I'm in Liberia, before I leave, no less than 25-30%, I will have my target to bring them on board. And then when I leave, they call me, say, damn, this guy, something about this man, we didn't know. The information keep, and then they now start going into their community and telling other people about this man, so they want more information from us. So I agree with you. We have work to do.
So Paul, we will talk this behind the scene, but we have a few radio stations lined up to air this thing as we progress, to be able to reach to our people. And sometimes we'll bring it, translate those things into the local dialect so that our people, get to understand what this thing is about and what is at stake here when it comes to 2023 election. We are not trying to leave any room open for a mistake. Because any error in this election will have a detrimental effect on everybody. And I know we all on here. The reason we are sitting here and talking about Liberia is because we have passions and love for our country.
Right.
We always want to go back to our country, right? With our little resources to carry on development, investments, and stuff like that. You can only do it in a stable environment. So we're going to continue to talk to our people, senator our people, and yes, we'll talk about this behind the scenes and see if we can get a few radio stations in Liberia where this thing is air, and our people can listen to us, as we bring some of those discussions to them.
Okay. And frankly, you mentioned a very key word prior to this discussion. You said they are trying to stop Mr. Cummings. And that moves us to the next topic, where the government now is requesting Mr. Cummings's U.S. passport, or Mr. Cummings's Liberian passport with the U.S. visa. What is the intent behind trying to question the man's travel credentials? What? I mean, what?
My friend, if you have someone with a clean hand, will continue to say he has a clean hand. He is very clean. No records of him out there that will, tarnish his reputation. People will always find something. What the guys are doing here is they don't want Mr. Cummings to compete in this election. So they are trying by all means and looking for something to pin on him, to disqualify him. First of all, it was the fingerings of document that have gone through court. And then the next thing was, is this one right now where Mr. Cummings traveled, and what they're doing to him is wrong. You can't do that. He traveled to see his ailing mother, and the images are out there. And then you're asking him to provide document, to give you all this stuff. Why would you do that? It's unnecessary.
Yeah, but on behalf of whom?
Behind that.
Yeah, on behalf of whom are they doing it? Because the U.S. government did not request the man travel document. Why he coming to America? And then when he comes back to your country, why do you want to? Why did you let him leave in the first place to go? And then
it's all politically motivated. They are doing this because they want to find something on him. Maybe to say he's an American citizen. We're going to disqualify him so that he don't run. But again, they're forgetting to know that George Weah is a citizen.
Yeah.
Eddie Johnson is a citizen. So past president. So I don't know what they're trying to do here as far as
in a very content. You got fanatical over American citizenship. You got a lot of them who got American citizenship.
Yeah.
Here's the other thing, guys. The exposure of the missing WhatsApp conversation, for all intents and purposes, is like an egg on the face, right? You get caught. You got caught out there at your own game that you're trying to play and make and persecute somebody else. So in the meantime, how can I distract from that story? It's like, hey, look at the shiny object over there. But we realize that you were supposed to be persecuting somebody, and you had the evidence, and then you manipulated the evidence. Goes back to what we said earlier, right? So let's distract the public from, I had this thing, but I manipulated it. So let me bring something else up for the people to focus on. Like, okay, I need to see your travel papers. I need to see it. Is that really necessary? Okay, so if you're giving the travel paper, what's going to be the next thing? But yes, the other issue with this thing, again, guys, this is a cartel. This cartel would do whatever it can to stay in power. I will hope that the rule of law and fair play will be respected. Liberia is not isolated anymore.
No.
The eyes of the world are watching all of these games. If the embassy, if the U.S. embassy, if the European Union, if other people can keep commenting on what's happening in the country, especially when it comes to this legality of what they're doing, they got to realize that people aren't fooling around, right? And with the other issues that's happening in the world, it doesn't. The optics are not great for the SG, for the government, for everybody. Whether they like it or not, they have to compete and contend with the ANC, with Alex, with any other political party. You got to go out there. You got to compete for the hearts and minds of Liberians, like everybody else. And then if you win, fine. But you have to compete. There's going to be no shortcuts here. There's going to be no help from gamesmanship. You know, you got to go. Again, is a legal case. I don't want to comment on it, but it will play out the way it's supposed to play out for itself. In the end, when they have to either throw it out or they got to come up with a decision about all of the legality of this stuff, it's only going to benefit the party that they're trying to get out of the race.
That's right. So on that note, what you guys make of the news that is coming out from some reliable sources about this group called the Democratic Alliance of Liberia? Have you heard such name before?
I've seen recent social media commentary on it.
Yeah.
And then I looked at the usual suspects.
Okay.
And all I could do is shake my head and say,
So
if you know what I'm trying to drive at.
Yeah.
It's all part of it. Yeah.
Isn't that tell you that the so-called people, I will not say the name, but those suspects that decided to put somebody in court are now coming out with something else?
Yeah.
So I think what is happening here, all of this that happening, I think is favor Mr. Cummings in a good way.
Yes.
And I tell you, when a group of people who we already know, the bad suspect, the bad apples in Liberia, have gathered to come up with something, that is a good thing.
Yes.
It's easy to go after them, and it's easy to go after the common because you put the two together, there's no change.
Yes.
Freetown Pro said no better.
Yes.
There's no
This
change.
thing,
So it's the time.
Yeah.
Paul,
Paul, this thing is the oil or the medicine man, the man selling concoction versus the medical doctor.
Yeah.
Right? Everybody knows the medical doctor will have through training, research, facts about finding a cure. Whereas the other person will be trying concoctions. They're going to brew something they have no idea about, and they're going to be selling it as if it's a cure. And when we find out that what the medicine man is selling, it's going to make the condition worse compared to what the doctor has. So this is what these guys are doing. They keep trying to show that shiny object. Hey, look at the shiny object. Hey, we try to work this thing out, and, come up with a case, and the case is not working. So let's go find some. Come on, guys.
And the question
sooner or later, got to accept the change.
The question that I keep asking the other side of the camp, not the convent, what did they not do for the Liberian people for 12 years? 12 years that they want to come back and do. If somebody can answer that, not you, if they can answer that question.
No, they will never answer that question.
Why you did not do in 12 years for the Liberian people? 12 years.
I've asked.
You want to come back and do?
I've asked.
They're going to say 4 or 6.
They come and show you the leave for wait a minute. They come and show you the love. They said, think Liberia, love Liberia, and hate Liberia. That's the three things. If you hate the country so much, you'll do what they're doing now. If you love the country, now you look for the one with a better idea. Say, no, we've been in this slump for many years. Let's move this country to another level. So the deceit in Liberia is too much. So there are three ways to summarize it. Love Liberia, think Liberia, and hate Liberia. That's the three way I can summarize that group of people. Because if you hate the country so much, you do exactly what it's doing. If you love the country, you think like, okay, this is about the time the country move forward. That the country need to move on this new path. Now, the wicked guys in Liberia, they always use the gospel. They will quote the Holy Bible first. And when they quote the Holy Bible, that's where they go the opposite side. And I can call names. The Darius Delon, he used the Bible to the best of his knowledge. He do it. The other wild, loud mouth, he used the Bible. Every time they use the Bible, they go the other way. So that means love Liberia, think Liberia, and hate Liberia. That's the three things that they go with. Hate Liberia, because if you love the country, you not hate the country, you think, oh, why is it that Ghana is going that way? Why is it Tanzania going that way? And Liberia is going the other way. So if you start thinking Liberia and love Liberia, you will not be hating Liberia. You say, look, let's look for the best that will lead this country to that direction, to be the Rwanda, to be the Ghana, to be the Guinea and other places. But because we hate our country so much and we pretend to love Liberia, that's the direction we heading. So that the three summary of it: love, think, and hate.
You know, I have asked that question to most of my diehard people from the other side, and you know they are very clever in dodging that question to answer it directly. What they will say is that, you know, the person we bring in was not the president at that time. But here is it.
But it's the political party, though, that is coming.
Yeah. This person is not running on a different banner. He's running under the banner of the political party that was there for 12 years and did not do anything. And this person was not just a member of that political party. This person was a key member, key figure in the government, second in command. Now, if this person knew that things were not going right, why didn't he resign? Because there is nowhere in the Constitution that says even if you are a member of this political party or you are vice president and your president is not doing anything good, you cannot resign. There's nothing that binds you. Okay? He did not resign, one. And this old man, you know, the old man thinks that he's so smart and he can outsmart all the Liberian people. That he served in a government for 12 years, and then at the end of the term, he also decided to run on the ticket of that government. When he did not win, then he started to tell the people, say, you know, oh, I was an old car park. I was not, okay, you are old car park. Why you didn't stay in the garage? Why did you rejuvenate to come and run on the same ticket? You're trying to, you know, separate himself from what the former president did, make himself to be the clean chicken, you know, to be the white chicken. But, you know, the Liberian people can see. And this will take us to our next topic. Let me ask Franklin, or let me refer to something you said earlier on, that the CPP was like a trial and things did not go the right way. But in a CPP document, there were things that they said that were supposed to be done. There were rules laid down as to how to choose the leaders of the CPP. First, they were supposed to either do primary. If no primary, they were supposed to do voters' perception survey, that is to ask the voters from almost everywhere in the country who you think you need at this time. That is, if there was no primary, or there was supposed to be a consensus where the leaders would go behind closed door and discuss among themselves and say, okay, or we'll carry this person. But none of those happened.
No.
But our friend on the other side, the guy already said, no, we're going to go for primary. Now, there's a video that I will play. Paul, I think Paul will allow me to play that video. Paul, you know that video, right? Where somebody say the only thing they can accept will be our primary. Okay? So they thought because they have no more, so they will insist on the primary. We got to go for primary. And thanking, they say, no, if we go for the primary, Mr. Coming will buy all of the voters. They keep on again. We don't want primary, we want black voting. And every time they make their own proposal, it doesn't work. The primary did not hold, and that's what they were supposed to do, according to them. It did not hold. Then they say black voting, and I don't know how the black voting died. Because the black voting now is coming on, that's going to go by anybody. The black voting is supposed to be like 3 parties against 1. But again, we don't know what happened in their camp. Probably they couldn't agree there. And that secret, they will keep it, they will not leak it out. So it didn't hold. And then the next we will look, they start to run away one by one. Yeah.
The black voting came from the talking head.
Yeah.
On the other side, he brought that stuff up. Mm-hmm. And the feel that when he sit down and memorize these words and bring it out and memorize and come sit here and put all the jargon together, that means he's informed and educated. Education is different from sitting here and just putting words together and memorize words and come and just recite, right?
Preparation framework document, hopefully.
Most of the issues that came from the CPP actually started with him.
Yeah.
Okay? Because they look up to him for everything. They look up to him for promotion, decision making. And I can tell you that 90% of the time, decisions that you make is not helpful to them. And I think they're beginning to realize it, right? And the issues of people saying, Mr. Comey going to go to the primary and buy voters and so. You do have your political party, that you have your members, and you are the standing bearer of your political party or political leader of your political party. You don't trust your people. If your people are leaving to go on the other side or accepting money and voting for somebody at the primary, that means something wrong with you. Something is wrong with you. Because you have a political party, right? Mm-hmm. Okay, you have a political party, and then you have your party delegates going to the hall to cast a ballot, and you say, where somebody gonna buy them. That means something is wrong with you, the leader. All right. So and the issues of people saying, you know what, we're gonna form this collaboration that will give hope to Liberians, and coming to the collaboration, you come in and sign an agreement that our guy will be the only political leader. Is that how you want to govern Liberia? You don't want to compete. You want to bring your guy on. Your guy will be the only person, and people should sign onto that. I want to see political party out here, other political party out here that want to collaborate in that direction, where you go and there's no way for you to compete. They're only telling you that this is our standard bearer from the get-go. Guys, we should not make these mistakes. Liberians, don't continue to make this mistake. 2023, yeah, again, I go back to 2023, will be a divine movement for Liberia. It will tell us where our country, is headed for the next 50 years. The decision that we'll make 2023, I will tell you exactly where we're going 50 years from now.
Okay, let me play the video. Listen to the video carefully. This video is by, it's an interview done with Mr. Benona Ure when he was chairman of the CPP. Listen to it very carefully and listen to what he desires at that time.
Another troublemaker. One issue, and I want to share that issue with you. There was a major contention in the document, and that was how the standard bearer will be elected. Yeah. You know, all of you are cognizant of one thing. Standard bearers are elected at primary and convention according to the electoral laws and practices of Liberia. And I, Bernard Nairi, political leader of the All Liberian Party, will not accept anything less than going to a primary and a convention to elect our standard bearer. Because that is what is constitutional in our country. That is what is right. Well, we have had suggestions. You all have read it on the internet of a VPS, voter perspective survey. That survey, we don't have any objection to it. But what we are saying, it cannot be part of the election of the standard bearer for the CPPs. We have nothing. The voter perspective survey can be done at any time to serve as guidance to us in who we elect, to be our standard bearer. But, my people, as a patriotic Liberian, I will never give the rights that are given to my people to vote and elect a standard bearer and give it to a foreign firm to do a voter perspective survey to determine who will be our leader.
Okay.
All right, so Lefford.
Yeah.
Look at that. That video is beautiful, right?
Mm-hmm.
You see, the same talking head. When Mr. Comey came up with the idea of the VPS,
Mm-hmm.
they said, no, we're not going to do so. You heard that?
Yeah.
But guess what? When it went to the VPS, guess who won? Joseph Wakai. You see? Evildoer will never see daylight.
No.
All right? Nothing good will find them. They have this in their hand. All he needed to do, if they have a very clean conscience for the country and they really love Liberia, they would have accepted that to be the final. And by now, the case was going to be closed.
Mm-hmm.
But they keep back on it. They keep against it. They refuse it. He said, no, we're not going to accept it. But guess what? It came right around and it fell there at the end of the day. But it was not binding. They needed to go to primary. That which he requested for in our video. All right. So guys, look, Liberia will move forward. This time around, our country is headed for the right direction. And I can tell you 2023 is a divine moment for our country.
Very good. Our time is fast spent. But
yes.
Let's look at something very quickly where we'll get moved on now to the end of this discussion. Liberia is in a bad state. The economy is bad. Hospitals are dilapidated, no drugs. That the U.S. ambassador even had to lament that they gave all the money to the health sector, about $79 million. Okay, and they see no effect in the health sector. Like we earlier on said, the airport is in complete darkness. No sanitation. Monrovia is filthy. I mean, just everything is broken down. But the government has the audacity to take money and give it to an existing social, what I would call social organization. Because ULA, for those of you that live in America, if you have a small, your small social club of Liberians in America, you should fall under ULA, because that's the umbrella organization for all Liberian organizations in America. So that the government would take 100,000 United States dollars that can buy enough drugs for JFK or the Jackson F. Memorial Hospital in Tapeta, or some small health centers. The health center in Kagata, the CF Rennie, just got burned last year. That money could help to rebuild it. But they take that money and give it to a club or a group that is already existing. ULA has been in existence since 1974. That's a lot of long time. Okay? Now, what was the motive giving that money, $100,000, and then they pledged $300,000 extra to be inserted in the next budget? What's the motive behind that? I mean, a lot have been said about this, but it's good to also hear from other people.
So, Lemford, what else do you suspect if it's not politically motivated? This government been there they've been in power now for 3 years, going to 4 years, right? If not,
4 years,
right? 4 years. So why this time? Is that a coincidence? That at this time, next year, 2023 election, and then you have the government coming to pull ULA into the budget, and then other people will sit here to justify that the money came from Nathaniel McGill, from the Ministry of whatever his position is,
presidential affairs.
Presidential affair. So you deprive your department to take that money to give, or you have surplus. Where the money came from? We have budget that passed, and the money was allocated in different areas. So where the extra money came from? So these are some of the stuff. There's no oversight. You're taking that money to bring here in this country. What's the significance of that? Oh, we'll give you the money and then you bring it back to Liberia to undertake project. We're going to find a little organizations in Liberia that will give the money to, according to the ULA president yesterday on Spawn TV. All right, we'll take the money. We'll take the money back to Liberia and give it to a little organization. So why the government can give the money to the little organization, the small organization in Liberia, to undertake some of these major projects?
Yeah, that they have to give it to you. And
they have to go to you in the United States before you take it and send it. You know, if you have people that are clueless in power, they feel that everybody thinks the way they are. And for you to have the audacity to come in this country, where you have people that are wise, Liberians are here and their eyes open, they are well informed to do that, and say you're going to include ULA into our national budget for your political gain, is unacceptable. That should not be done. And that money.
Okay, Mr. Roberts, what do you think is the motive behind this money that was given to ULA and the one that is already pledged for them in the budget?
Well, if you guys remember the history of ULA, when it started, it was started by some progressive students, right? Mm-hmm. And the object was to talk about taking our country and then its people, you know, getting out of suppression, getting everybody. So my thing is, and I know I'm probably going to be thought of as wrong, but ULA should have refused to take that money. If ULA had the country at heart, if you said you were there for, you know, as a progressive organization, and you know the problem in the country, especially when it comes to the government, if there are projects in the country that needed to be taken care of, why would you take money out of the country to go bring it back in the country? So I just think that the whole setup is again gamesmanship. People are looking to curry favor as close to the election. This is the same ploy they use when the election is here. They will go out to the villages and give the people a bag of rice, because the people will look at the shiny object first, then try to understand the reasons behind the shiny object, and try to understand that this is my fear and control ploy to keep me in power, to keep you fearing and being under my control. So
I was talking to somebody about this, and the person said this alone could undermine the success or the future viability of ULA. One,
exactly.
Yeah, exactly. One, all organizations in America, all Liberian organizations in America that fall under ULA, they all do not support the idea, or each member, or not every member of those organizations that support the idea of this government taking money and using it the way it is. So this will cause other smaller groups that fall under ruler to begin to, like withdraw or become resistant to the whole organization. Do you see that happening?
Again, I think this has to come through engagement. We have to, and I haven't done it in a long time. Have to. I saw something on one of the chat groups I'm with about certain people in EULA, and I've been trying to find a way to engage the person and try to understand what's the thinking behind what's going on. And the bottom line is, for me, and I know there are others who feel what I feel and who associate with ULA, that will speak to this situation. And yes, it's good for publicity and to go on social media, but the bottom line, the purpose of it, and the reasoning behind it, and the direction of it is questionable. I'm not saying that you can't support the government or you can't do with the government, but at this time, when we're talking about, getting the country to a better place, why would you fall for the gamesmanship? Whether it was to foster ULA or EULA, whether it was to whatever sponsor whatever, but it should have been done in a way that the kids on ground, the youth on ground, the unemployment in the country is one of the highest in the world. Why aren't you, the government, doing something about that? Why would you take that kind of substantial money and send it? Yes, I know they're Liberians, all that kind of stuff, but the more immediate impact will be felt on ground in the country, affecting the people in the country. So that's just my take.
How many Liberians in this country that really need that money and to do what with it here? All right. And one thing that the leadership should understand in EULA, I know they're all sitting there, oh yeah, we want to honor take prejudice in Liberia and this. Well, EULA has a record of raising money. They could raise their own money. All right. And one thing they should understand here, people do have plural views when it comes to political issues. That's not every organizations or sub-organizations that form part of EULA will subscribe to the ideas of, supporting this government or working with this government and all that, right? Because of their track record. Some people want to remain neutral, and some don't just subscribe to the ideas of this government and the way they govern the country and the way they go about doing things. A lot of people don't like the idea. So if you have EULA going to accept money from the government, some of these organizations may be rubbed the wrong way, and the consequences may not be good. And they do have the right to withdraw and their support for EULA and their membership from EULA. And I can tell you that some of these local organizations, some like Ulinko from the Nema County and the Bon County organization and stuff, some of these organizations are very effective. They're effective in raising money. They're effective in doing things in Liberia. They don't rely on the government or some government officials to come and give them money. They raise money here to support programs and initiatives in Liberia. So if you ask me, since this was a pledge, it has not been received yet, I think it's just prudent for the EULA presidents and the leadership to have have a meeting and just refuse the money. I don't think it will hurt to say no.
Then they will have to return the 100,000 also, because they received.
Yeah, the 100,000 should be given. The $300 some more thousand was something that will be placed in the budget. And I think according to him yesterday, Mr. Kamara, he said the 100,000 was a pledge. They are not receiving it yet, right? But the way he signed it was, we take the money and give it to organizations in Liberia. My friend, if the only way I'm going to trust them is to come sit on the social media here and be transparent. Say, yeah, 100,000. Okay, we're going to give 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10. And they should receive it and count it in front of us and take the camera and undertake the project to see if the 100,000 all will be spent in Liberia. Why are they capitalizing on taking that money to send to Liberia? Tell me again.
The question is who's undertaking the project? Is it the government or ULA?
ULA giving the money to another organization. Yeah. So it just don't make no sense. And you just assume office. You don't want all these commotion. If I see here, I would say, look, the negative attentions at this time, you just assume office. We can't. It's not healthy for your leadership. So just step away from it. We can raise our own money. You can come up with program and request assistance from other donors that will even exceed their $100,000 or $300,000 per year. If you really get out there and write some projects,
The first thing, they are not. I mean, his administration has not identified any program that they are doing to receive the money from government.
No, they will receive the money and they will think about what to do later.
The thing here, I want to come in. The people in Liberia,
interesting,
they depend on Liberians in the diaspora for support. The government of Liberia have been given a mandate to bring out things to help the people in Liberia. How on earth the government is a beggar? They beg for money all over the place. We take money that they beg from to give it to you in a diaspora to go establish, to go do something in Liberia. It doesn't make sense. You see, you already supporting people there. They protect the money, then send it to you to go identify project. It doesn't make sense. So I don't know where these guys, what sort of land they living on. If you can't find means to generate money to have a project in Liberia, waiting for the taxpayer money to go identify project, I just couldn't believe what I was hearing yesterday when that guy was talking.
Yes. And Chairman, let me tell you something. He will be making a mistake here. This will be a trial for his leadership. If he accepts that money, I can tell you that moving forward, you should rely on the government to continue to fund every project that you undertake, because people will hold on to their resources. If you host a call for a fundraiser, people will not spend their money.
Yeah.
People will not donate. And this will continue throughout the durations of his leadership. I'm telling you, he needs to listen, refuse that money, so that you organize a fundraiser and raise more money than that. I trust Liberians. They will do it. But if you accept that money, let's say you have 24 states that form part of this union. The 24 states say, you know what? 10 don't subscribe to the ideas of accepting money from the government. They may not withdraw their support or their membership, right? And then you ask them to come for a fundraiser. They may not turn out. They may turn out and don't raise the money because they know you rely on the government to give you money. So that would be a wrong move for him to do so. And I don't know what he's thinking, but whoever is advising him needs to tell him, no, you can't do that.
Okay, guys, on this note, our time is fast spent. But
I know, man. Yeah, thank you.
Chairman, you and your chapter and the European chapter have this project in Bonkante that we'll not talk about tonight. But we want to organize a time that will come. The next time we'll be here will be on Tuesday, and the following program will be on Friday next week. But
and we'll make sure that this thing is aired in Bonkante. Yeah, my chapter and a UK chapter is responsible for Bonkante. We have the Adapted County Initiative that we are undertaking, and the state of Florida and UK. We are working together and engaged. But again, we have some things lined up, some project lined up, and some stuff to undertake. We want to give it time for us to come back here and have a full D-Day, disclose to the public. We don't want to to come here and tell people what we're gonna do. We want to say this is what we're doing, right? So once that project is initiated, we'll come back on here and speak to our people in Bond County and across the country. But again, Bond County to be specific, because they're where our base is when it comes to the Adaptive County Initiative.
Okay.
So
that makes sense.
In our life, what we will do, we have Mr. Ravels and Franklin probably another Saturday, and we need to do this more often.
Sure.
Start bidding for the radio land and start. We need to move the needle because time is not in our favor. So
okay,
yeah.
Well, on this note, gentlemen, it's been a very, very, very fruitful discussion on this Saturday. We know we've taken a lot of your time. For us in Europe, you should be getting ready to sleep. While you guys in the US, you should be rounding up your day's activities. Today is Saturday night, and I know what it looks like in the US on a Saturday. So, Mr. Roberts, it's a pleasure to have you here today, and we hope that you'll be back here. And Franklin, of course, Franklin and I have been on several operations.
Operation, man. We've been on operation for the AFC too long. And a lot of stuff we do behind the scene that people don't see and we don't talk about because we know it's important. Yeah, it's important to our people. So we'll go ahead and do that behind the scene. But yeah, there are a lot of things that Lenford and myself collaborated on and we'll continue to work on behind the scene for the betterment of our country. And guys, look, I worked last night and drove 5 hours to come home for the weekend, and I slept for 1 hour for this program. So, you
gotta take a rest. And Paul, thank you very much for arranging with the guys, and we hope to be back. And Paul is going to get back to you guys, and then we'll again.
Sure. Thank you, Chairman. Thank you for organizing this, and Lempo, thank you. I follow the show most of the time. Let's continue to do this, right? When we start relaying this in Liberia, it'll make sense to our people. I know our diaspora Liberians, what they think of here is viewer. Again, viewer is not all to that, right?
If you go back on the video, you'll see how many people
people go back to watch the video, and that's the most important thing about this. But we need to do this and reach out to our people, continue to educate our people as to how to vote, because it's important, and nobody gonna do it for us.
So, Franklin, we need to have a meeting to have a structure. Before we get the radio land, so when we sell it, we sell to the best of our ability.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. So let's have a discussion.
So Paul, Franklin, Linford, it's a pleasure that you invited me. Nice meeting you.
Thank you.
We do this because we are not desperate. We do this because we really love our country.
We've been in
America for a long time. If you ever heard the phrase, there's no place like home, that's why we do this. Okay, so I thank you from the bottom of my heart, and I thank you guys. And I look forward to us doing this again.
Okay, thanks a lot. And this is how we like to leave you.
All right.